So we are pulling the dyno out. We've got Everett's tires on the back. We're gonna put on the dyno. I'm gonna turn it way down. We're gonna have nothing on but a spool jet, which I will probably change when that comes on. And we're gonna do some I'm just gonna put a little bit of load on. I'm gonna drive it up through the RPM, make sure it seems happy, and we'll just see what happens, because this is our first go at it, and I figure the dyno is a good bit more of a controlled environment than just letting go of a button and hoping things work. We'll get it pulled out there, and then I'll start making some changes, see what happens. So it's outside. It's on the dyno. We rolled it. It rolls. But this could be fun. Where's it coming from?
All out of the head gasket. What?
Yeah, I was mostly wanting to make sure it was going to transition from pilot on to pilot off.
Right. Go back to the
that every time you race them, they get nasty and gross.
They get not nice.
And they get super not nice, and then you just end up saying, screw it, it's not even worth it. And then you just have a clapped out pile of that works. Learn from experience, though, that I feel like hot.
No, it's cold.
I thought so.
Cold.
What I've learned
I don't know
from experience is that if you have a clapped file, they tend to work. You gotta mistreat these things, you know? And they like it.
Nicer they are.
Red-headed stepchild. But this time we will turn the nitrous on.
Oh, hey.
Just for the spool. And put it in burnout mode. Or not burnout mode.
You want to tell the YouTube what you did?
Oh yeah.
What's this? Is that water?
No, we're not changing the subject now.
Got more rags. Okay, so basically what we've done on the dyno so far is we made a couple light accelerations. I was just watching stuff, and then I did a full throttle pull with it turned way down
No nitrous.
No nitrous. Like when I say way down, I'm talking like 700 microseconds. Like that's what we spool with. So just wanting to make sure that my big concern was we run extra G injectors, and I have always idled them with pilot on. And when we went to first start it, which I believe I said in the last video, pretty confident I did.
Yep.
Was to get it to run, we turned pilot back on, and suddenly it was happy. So I was wanting to mostly make sure, like on stock computers, it does it from the factory. It turns off at full throttle. So I wanted to make sure that our transition from pilot on to pilot off was going to be smooth. There wasn't going to be any weird pops or backfires or anything stupid like that. So that was mostly what was going on with this first run, was system check. But anyways, I brought it up 3600, kind of rolled into it, got to the floor. It was a slow pull. I didn't have hardly any load on it. It was like 20% load. Most trucks that make 1,000 horsepower usually run at like 40%. So I was just trying to get some load on it, and came up to about 4,500, and it kind of felt like it laid over and just kind of got blah. So I let out. We started doing all of this. I go in the office, start looking at the information, and I noticed it was like, so it shows what table it's running in. It said smoke, and then it switched from smoke to like something real fast. And I hadn't scanned all the way over, so like I had to go back like one cell at a time, and it said engine speed limit. And then I clicked that I forgot to take it out of burnout mode. So it was speed limited to 4,500. So the graph was, you can see like it lays over, because that was the engine speed limit catching it before it got to 4,500. Realistically, that was going to probably end up being 750 horsepower. So that's no spool, no nitrous at all. Turbo was making 41 pounds of boost with 26 pounds of drive.
Like the gates weren't even opened yet.
Well, yeah, technically no, they weren't even open. I guess I said that I thought they were opening, but yeah, that's a good point. They open off of drive pressure, not boost pressure. So we never even opened the gates. It was just, there's no fuel, and the ECM was limiting it. So we were due for a retorque. We had oil coming out between the cylinder head and the deck plate, which is somewhat normal until you get the fire ring seated. The gasket will leak a little bit. So
I got about a whole turn out of some of them.
yeah. Well, this is the first time we've actually got it hot.
Yeah.
Like that was toasty.
Roasty toast.
Well, I mean, it really wasn't that bad. It was 176 on oil tank.
Fingers
Shut
are
it off.
burnt.
Do what?
My fingers are burnt because I'm stubborn and move
Yeah. So, anyways, we're just cleaning up our mess. He retorqued them and said he got like a turn out of some of them, which is load.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Because we've already got like half a turn before that. So
Basically, the cylinder
we're
head's just
crushing.
setting
We're
in
just
there.
crushing the crap out of the fire rings, which is good. So this is one of those times where I always talk about the dyno, and it's, you know, everybody always wants to show up to a dyno event. Dyno events are stupid, even though we do them. They're just meant to have fun. You can't show up and get butt hurt when it doesn't make a number. So
How mad are you right now? Your truck only made 690 horsepower, dude.
mad, and that's kind of where I'm going with that. Is I don't care what that thing says. Was that probably 700 horsepower? Yeah, it was definitely only 700 horsepower. It sounded gnarly.
No, it's
But
rowdy 700
Yeah.
horsepower.
So 700 horsepower, but what we've learned from this is we needed to retorque the head because it was leaking. We had a fitting that leaked, so instead of putting oil on the track, we just dripped it right here, cleaned it up, tightened it down. I learned that you have to turn burnout mode off, so that was a good lesson to learn here, as opposed to going to the track and wasting an entire pass and having to let it cool down there. So yeah, it's just, this is what a dyno is meant to do. It's meant to be a system check, somewhat verify your horsepower, and then put it in the trailer and go see what it does.
I mean, this is a prime example of what we did with my truck.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep. We put it on the dyno. It was super unimpressive. Everybody's like, make more. And we're like, no. Can it make more? Absolutely. Do we know how to make more? Yes. Do I give a shit what this machine says it makes for power? No. Don't care.
I'll crank it over just to make sure that I put everything right. I didn't
Make sure it's in burnout mode.
Keaton, you see this? Yes.
I don't understand why it cranks slow initially and then it kicks up.
$20 just like that.
Hey, why are your shoes not on?
Scarp's clean. Scarp's got to stay clean. We're not racing with shoes on either. Barefoot only. As funny as when I let off, it said $9.99. I was kind of mad at myself, and then when I pulled it up, it said $1,002. I was like, yeah! Look at the graph though. It wasn't gonna quit. I mean, that's literally the spool jet at 700 microseconds.
Wednesday is gonna be rowdy if things go the way we want them to.
Oh, dude.
Like it. I'm not gonna
I
say.
might do it here in a minute, or tonight. I might just turn the first stage on based off boost. It's a 78 jet and just see what it does with just a 78 and like 700 or 800 microseconds.
That number's lower than mine. He's slower than me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Race time works. It comes up. The transition's good. It's cool. Good with spool jet. Does it sound good?
It sounded amazing.
Okay. Old man noises.
Middle 30s.
Not middle-aged or not mid-30s. Old. Do you even hear me? Okay, so we're back. Evening time. We made a pull earlier that was, I think I had it set to 375 milligrams, but the smoke map trimmed it back to 325 because we weren't spraying it enough to clean it up. We just had the spool jet. So I went ahead and I moved the smoke map to a little bit leaner from 5,000 and up. Then move 4,000 just a little bit. So it'll transition from 4,000 to 5,000 and get leaner. The nitrous is going to come on probably 45, 4,600 for this main stage. So we'll have 375 milligrams commanded. It'll probably trim on the hit. The spool jet will hit and it'll start getting lean. But it'll probably pull some fuel and then the last kit will come on. It should be where it's supposed to be, I think. I don't know. We'll see.
So kit number 1 technically though. Right?
Yeah, kit. So stage 1. So yeah, kit 1 is the spool. Kit 2 is stage 1. 3 is 2. 4 is 3. So we were running it on just the spool, which is stage 1. And now we've got stage 2 going to come on at 50 pounds of boost and pulse from 50 to 80. We've not been to 80 yet, but that should push it to 80. So we're gonna see what that does, get an idea where shaft speed's at that RPM and everything like that. We're playing, but like with science and maths and horsepower and fire. So we'll see what it does. Race mode, not burnout mode.
Yeah, turn the button on.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it in a minute. Let me start it first. What, vibrations or sucking air or what?
See it?
Yeah, I see it.
I guess, I don't know. Yeah, that was a lot of tire spin.
It definitely sounds the part.
It did.
Gosh, the freaking vibration here at 190 or whatever it is
Would you like to watch it?
a good time through the roar. So we tried to turn the main or the first stage on. It's an 078, and I knew about 4,600 RPM it was going to come on because that's where we made 50 pounds of boost. I thought maybe I saw a difference, but it didn't act like it. Now that when you watch the video, it didn't clean up at all, and it was trimming a lot of fuel because it was rich, because I expected it to be leaner with the nitrous. And so anyways, started looking, and one of the safeties was set to not come onto 40 pounds of boost pressure, and the boost pressure sensor on this is not tied to anything. It goes off turbo compressor outlet 1. So because I didn't have it set right, it never enabled it because it never got over 40 pounds of boost. So we met the throttle threshold, we didn't meet the boost threshold. Nice to know that you can set it up to do that. So we switched it, turbo compressor inlet, and now we're gonna run it again because it didn't get hot. We didn't run it long enough. Oil temp went from 110 to 129.
And
So we'll run it again.
Fans on it.
Yep, so we'll run it again. Cool thing is, just the fan on the intercooler makes a huge difference. We were 400 degrees compressor outlet, and we were 116 on the intake manifold.
Cool.
And that's actually like in the shelf.
Yeah. Like on the side of the motor.
Yeah. But so far everything seems happy. Run it again, see what it does. We need to turn that intake and then maybe tighten it. It's a 13.
On what? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Thing,
The
yeah.
intake
Did
decided.
it hit on anything or did it just stop where it stopped?
It just moved.
Okay. So let's move that real quick and then we'll run it because I'm ready to go.
I did.
That's where it came on.
Yeah, and then it said the dyno said nope. Hey, what did we find there?
So our alternator doesn't have a tensioner. It's just like a stretch fit deal, and it's actually 2 4-rib belts. Something is off here. Why is the smooth side down? Well, you see, at 5,500 RPM, the belt starts dancing and it decides it wants to flip around. So it's gonna ride like that because I don't feel like fixing it.
And it's because it's going to do it again.
It's pretty, I mean, it's flip itself back. It'd be hilarious. The next run, it just flips itself back. Freaking hilarious. Quick.
What are we doing, Paul?
Like, get over the top, and try to get the video from the top angle, but... Oh, dude. On the fucking roof would be sweet.
Bro.
I don't know what's happening, but I like it. Is there anything about Mitchell that says safe?
Where's he at?
Oh my gosh.
Hey, move towards the corner more.
Which way?
Towards the dumpster.
Well, Emily, if it makes you feel any better, they were up here resealing it last year. Like a bunch of dudes were walking around up here. Yeah.
Mother Goose is all worried. Okay, I have to recalibrate for third, and then we'll be good. more. That was violence. Like, was very, very
I
not
saw
happy.
the whole ass end like
Well, it spit and sputtered because it came up so fast on boost that it started like turning shit on.
Oh look, there's a draggy.
Yeah, that was.
It's just different up there, but it sounded like way more rowdy.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Dude, I couldn't see that my face was vibrating so much from the tire shake.
Oh no, like the whole building, I was like shaking up top. It was awesome. The flame that came out, I was like, that was so cool.
5465. I want to see what. I bet you the dyno didn't show more than 4,000 RPM. I bet it spun that hard. Oh gosh, it was spinning so bad.
Oh my god. Wow.
Is that even a graph?
That was way more than 700.
What did it say? It was, I told you, it didn't even make it to 4,000. 3743, and
Hey, pull that up again.
I was at 5,500 RPM.
It's so hard to get a good angle.
Now come look over here. I've got it highlighted. 5465. That's almost 2,000 RPM. Or 2,000, yeah, RPM of wheel spin.
That's wild.
That's hilarious. Okay, so, cap this off. It still runs. Still makes oil pressure.
Thank you, Jeff.
It doesn't have any crankcase pressure because we have a sensor for that. So, I think it's ready for the track. If I had to put a number on what that tune-up made, it was probably 1,500. Pretty easy.
It was a lot.
Like
I mean, the whole
1,1600, and that's literally just a spool jet and 078. With
you can't see it in the camera, but I seen like the whole ass end of the truck moved back and forth about a foot.
Yeah, it was wild. Like my vision was blurry. It's what tire shake is. I mean, it spun so hard it was shaking. The draggy fell off of the ceiling on the top of me. The GoPro camera went from facing me to up, which we didn't have the GoPro on, so you didn't see that. But
Jeez.
so, anyways, everything's working. EGTs look good. I think, yeah, we're ready to go. Let go of the button with probably just the spool jet on. That's not true. I'll probably have the first kit on. So we just need to make sure. We need to make sure it shifts, and we need to make sure it locks. Once it shifts and locks, that means everything is working the way it's supposed to, and then we can start.
I mean, you could make like a half track hit.
Yeah, I don't even know if we'll make a full 8-mile hit. I think we'll start with like some 60 foot to like 100 foot, and then much like Mitchell's truck, when I told him, I said, I don't even need an 8th mile. You just give me a half track time, and I'll know we're close.
No,
So,
let's back up here.
well,
He said go to the half track and it feels good, don't let out.
no, that was this truck. I'm talking your
I'm
truck.
sorry.
Yeah, your truck. We went to the track.
You told me first cone, it was 60 feet out.
Oh, that was in this truck.
Yes, and that was not an orange cone.
Yeah.
Who paints the first cone black?
I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make no sense.
Anyways, so if I can get half track times, I'll have a pretty good idea where we're at. Obviously, we can manipulate power from the 330 on, but most of your race is in the front half. Most of it. So, anyways, things are looking good. I'm ready to go to the track. Got our fire suit. We need to change the safety harnesses tomorrow. All right. So, anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time. Hopefully, come back, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I don't know. YouTube.